Well, new at noon, a judge has ordered the man accused of killing his wife in Bella Vista to be held without bond. Terry Rodocker had his first court appearance this morning. 5 News reporter Emily Moss is live in Benton County. And Emily, can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, thanks, Tiffany. Well, the judge ruled today that Terry Rodocker would be held without bond. This is after she described the crimes as extremely violent after reviewing the affidavit and probable cause documents. Let's go to video now of Terry from earlier this morning from that court hearing. Now, the defense and prosecution both confirming Terry had tried to take his own life at the scene of the crime, resulting of the loss of his hand, as you see there. Police were first called to the Rodocker home on Sunday at around 9 o'clock in the morning for a welfare check on Barbara, where they found her body and Terry next to it. Now, later at the scene of the crime, they also found 2 dogs that were so badly injured they later had to be put down. Terry is now charged with capital murder for the death of his wife Barbara and 2 aggravated animal cruelty charges for those 2 dogs. Today, also, the prosecution and the defense decided they would need to redact certain parts of the affidavits and probable cause documents because of the violent nature of the crimes he is accused of doing. You know, his next court date will be on March 16th. Today in court, we also saw his daughter sitting in court in support of Terry. We're expecting this to be a little bit of a longer process because of the violent nature, and we'll bring you the latest information as we have it. Back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Emily. Well, we want to continue with today with what else is going on when it comes to Rodocker. Now, again, we will have the latest information on that today on your 5 News at 4, 5, and 6, so stay with us. New bond restrictions are now in place for a former Crawford County Library official accused of an alleged kidnapping plot involving her own daughter. Court documents show Tammy Hamby is barred from having any direct or indirect contact with her daughter. She's also required to comply with all standard bond conditions, including appearing at future court dates and following any additional restrictions set by the court. Those rules will remain in place until her next hearing in June, when a judge is expected to review the case's status. You can read all of our coverage on this story right now on our website, which is 5newsonline.com. Well, a man who says that he was detained in connection with the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie has been released. The developments came after the FBI shared new images on Tuesday of an armed, masked person outside the Tucson home of the 84-year-old mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. Now, this is from the night that she went missing. Andres Gutierrez spoke with the man who was released. He was in Rio Rico, Arizona.
I didn't do anything, to be honest. Like, I'm innocent.
A delivery driver named Carlos told us he was the man deputies detained as a person of interest in the Nancy Guthrie case.
He told me, stop moving. Like, what's your name? Carlos. And that's it. They put me in the cop car.
Overnight, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department searched his home in Rio, Arizona, about an hour south of Tucson and close to Mexico's border. But they released him hours later.
I mean, I hope they get the suspect, because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name.
The developments come hours after the FBI released new images captured by a security camera outside Nancy Guthrie's home the night she went missing. The chilling video shows an armed, masked person wearing gloves and a backpack.
They're going to spend hours, if not days, looking into each one of those items, and some are so unique.
Retired FBI agent Lance Lysing says the individual's behavior, such as picking up shrubs to apparently try to cover up the camera, indicates the person is not a professional criminal.
Extremely amateurish. And I do think that it gives investigators hope that if they're amateur at the door, they've made other mistakes.
It's now 11 days since the 84-year-old mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie was last seen. Authorities are urging the public to call in any tips that will lead to a break in the case. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Rio Rico, Arizona.
Fayetteville Mayor Molly Ron has delivered her second State of the City address at the Fayetteville Town Center. Ron said her focus is steady growth while protecting what makes Fayetteville unique. Looking back on her first year, she highlighted housing, infrastructure, public safety, and a major bond proposal set to go before voters. In the last year, the city has hired Arkansas's first chief housing officer, updated student housing rules, and cut building permit wait times by 36% for single-family homes and 20% for apartments. Ron also pointed to infrastructure investments, including more than 1,000 water service line repairs, the Highway 112 expansion, and a downtown master plan. She said the past year was about laying the foundation for what's next.
Fayetteville is a city that works best when it works together. When we invest in the systems behind the scenes so that people can build lives, businesses, and futures with confidence. When we honor what makes this place special, while also planning thoughtfully about what comes next. This year was about laying foundations, about building trust, and about choosing progress that is intentional.
Looking ahead, voters will decide in March on 9 bond questions. If approved, the measure would allow the city to invest $335 million into infrastructure, public safety, parks, and community facilities without raising the city sales tax. Well, the Fayetteville City Council is considering paying a resident for sewer damage that the city caused to the person's home. The council is expected to discuss the topic at next week's regular meeting. A memo says that the city incorrectly located a sewer main, which a company later drilled through. The resident says it cost him $130,000 in damage, but there's a $100,000 compensation cap on how much the city can pay. City Council member Bob Stafford asked if it would be possible to pay for it all. The city attorney said ratepayers ultimately foot the bill.
Because we're not an insurance company. This money's not free money. This money is paid by ratepayers. And so that's why there's a definite limit on it. It's probably easier to collect from us than it is if they had their own insurance and try to collect it. But we definitely need a limit on this. Or else our ratepayers are going to see their rates go.
Fayetteville has sovereign immunity, so it doesn't legally owe any money. The council did pass an ordinance setting up the compensation program, but would have to amend the ordinance to pay for the damages in full. Well, the latest election results are in out of eastern Oklahoma. In Spiro, voters passed 2 school bond propositions, totaling just over $2 million. The school board told us the larger bond will remodel the high school cafeteria, replace HVAC units at the middle school, and build a new indoor activity center. But the superintendent says people will not see a tax increase.
Whatever you're currently paying, this bond will roll off, not this bond, but the other bond will roll off, and then this bond takes its place at the same millage rate. So there's no increase in the taxes. Your taxes stay the same from that perspective.
Voters also passed the second bond proposition, which will add 2 new buses to the district's fleet. Well, in Sallisaw, Marley Abel is now the new mayor. She took home more than 50% of the votes and beat out Gene Moore and Kenny Moody.